Hello, hello, hello. There we go. I'm like talking. I'm like, wait a second, nothing's moving. Uh-oh. And then I looked down and realized that Kip had pulled the cord out. So yeah. So sorry for the late start today, guys. Sorry, we had a boys' school uniform thing this morning that I had to get out there, and of course, all the new parents were, jabbing it up, and I was like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, and like, try not to be rude when their teachers are talking to me. I was like, way to start off on a good foot. Gotta go, guys. Um, anyway, but I'm back. Sound is good here. No more Amber. Nope, nope. New microphone, Neuro. New microphone. Yeah, the upgraded version for this set. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's like fine tuning I can do too to even sound sexier, right? Right, that's what I'm going for. Sexy trader voice. It's gonna be a thing. Watch. Anyway, yeah. So market's kind of boring, right? Kind of boring. How about this for inflation, right? Qatar landlords bump rents 40%. Imagine having your rent bump 40%. Wow. Yeah. Talk about inflation. Yeah, so not a ton of stuff today. 8:30 we had preliminary unit labor costs. We're obviously going higher, and again, productivity obviously down, right? But unit labor costs, and again, this is a quarterly figure. Again, annualized change in the business. The price businesses pay for labor, including farming. So yeah, when you're paying more for things, again, it costs you more later on the road. We're kind of seeing this in other data, so it's not one of the biggest moving. It sucks enough when it goes up 5 to 10. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Well, that's like it's funny. Like, oh, your cost that your annual raise is 2%. It's like, but inflation's up 10. Okay. And this is going to be the problem actually with Social Security going forward, right? Because they have the cost of living adjustment and it's based off of CPI. It's like we were in trouble before with Social Security. So yeah, it's going to get really really good now when they have all these like cost of living adjustment. It's just like, wait, how much more are they going to pay out? Right. This is why they have to raise taxes. It's why people raise taxes. And again, we got I'm sure by now you guys all know that the Democrats sent through well, I don't know, I don't even know what it was, Build Back Better, whatever it was. The slim down kind of skinny version of it is what they sent through, so it's a whole lot less in there. But I think in principle, it has some great ideas. But I think we mentioned it yesterday that the automakers were like, you realize that you're trying to push this EV, the EV push, right? That like half the cars by 2030 will be EV. And they're like, well, you get subsidies for this and this and this and this and this, and it's great. But they said you realize that 70% of the cars sold right now would not qualify anymore because they're trying to drive basically investment back. But here's the problem, right? They don't say China, but what they mean is China because they're talking about rare earth metals for things like that with batteries. And the problem is, guess where a lot of those rare earth metals were? And guess what country in the world has been stockpiling those and buying up a lot of those resources over the last 10, 15 years? Yeah, they're like, we don't want to rely upon foreign people, foreign supply chains. It's like, so just say China, okay, because China has all that stuff. China and actually Russia. Russia has a decent amount of rare earth metals as well. But like, no, they got to come, it's got to be done domestically. It's like, well, if we don't have it here, we got to buy it from somebody else. Hello. But yeah, so 70% of the vehicles right now would not qualify for the EV tax credit under the new bill. So yeah, way to drive that infrastructure change. Gotta love it. Anyway, we knew going in today there was not going to be a whole lot of news, and as such, if you look over the 24 hours, not a lot of pip changes. I mean, the dollar yen is the biggest one, right, at 49. Euro pound at 41 is actually a decent percentage rate, and again, it's you're seeing, I would say, mixed pound. I mean, yes, euro is up here versus the dollar, so euro is kind of running the show right now. We're seeing that continue to drive forward. Followed closely by a little bit of weakness, and again, seeing a little weakness here, but you are seeing it versus the yen. So the yen is not getting. We're looking for a little bit more of a reversal, but Social Security, don't you dare question anything in our operations. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, now that and also I think there's going to be 60,000 more IRS agents or something like that. They're like, the IRS is funded, but they said that it's they said the IRS is so screwed up even with the extra agents. They said it just goes to show you how messed our system is. When you look at where a majority of the audits are, they're with people that make less than like $30,000 or $40,000. So a majority of all audits happen in the group that, like, I think actually they said less than 25,000 or something like that. You're like, basically it's, you don't have, you can't pay fancy tax services and you do it yourself. And these are the people we audit, right? But people using like zero loopholes. So that's why we need all the additional IRS agents, is so we could, audit the poor more, because that's what they need, right? It was a funny thing that I was listening to. Anyway, like I said, today not a whole lot in there, and even here you're seeing like really not a whole lot of news. You're talking about, funding treasure hunts. There's just not a lot there. And again, it's the dog days of summer. Now, tomorrow we do have some big data. And again, we don't need all the kind of the small stuff. We actually have a real news release tomorrow, and that's CPI, which is a very important one. So the markets will kind of adjust today in preparation for CPI tomorrow. It's expected to be not as high, but again, still positive numbers. Again, core is what they were really looking at before. It's like, no, core is what matters. And like, oh, look, it's slowing. I don't know. I mean, it was up. It was 0.7 last time, 0.5. Why? That's less. That's still going in the wrong direction. Like if it halted, it's like, oh, there we go, we're stopped, right? It's still creeping in the wrong direction. So I mean, and you can see last time it was 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. They keep missing it. Now this one again, if they come in kind of as expected, it just shows you that listen, it was accelerating during those interest rates. It's gotta start. You would assume it would start to slow a little bit, right? But even 0.5, again, that's still a pretty decent positive, push in the one direction, which means we are still going to go even higher than what we were before, right? We can get new 40-year highs. So, yeah, I spent every year waiting for the IRS. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It ended up costing $600+ in addition to my refund because they sat on it for, it's instead of spending all this money, what they should do is just rewrite the tax code so it's much harder to cheat, right? Like you're pissed. You want to tax the rich more? Great. Put a standard tax on everything. When the rich buys a $300,000 car or a $100,000 car, they are going to pay more taxes than the person that buys the $25,000 or $30,000 car. There you go. And put it on everything. And then you don't have to do federal income tax. Then you don't have to do the state stuff. And just have a percentage of what's captured in the state go back to those states, right? So, again, it's almost capitalism for states, right? If I could buy stuff cheaper in Delaware, Maryland will have to lower their prices, right? Have the states compete a little bit. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? But have it be on every single thing that you purchase. There's a tax that goes back again, that goes right back into, like a consumption tax. Again, rich people that want to buy, $500,000, crazy cars, they will pay more than the average individual, but just put it on everything, right? And then get rid of income tax. Then we don't have income tax. So the more you spend, the more taxes you pay. I don't know why there's anything wrong with that, Again, you buy an $8 billion home, guess what? There's a tax on it, right? And again, they got to be adjusted, but, that way all the people in California that love paying, 10 million times more than what somebody from Oklahoma does, guess what? The guy in Oklahoma pays less taxes. He makes less money, right? It will automatically adjust itself out. So, yeah. All right. So tomorrow, CPI, biggest thing we got in the markets right now. We'll hear about it today. Obviously, last night, too, I guess there was the Trump raid. If you guys hadn't seen that or not, the Mar-a-Lago thing, they were looking for documents. It goes back. I mean, earlier this year, Trump said, yeah, I took documents with us. I gave them back. Okay. He's like, yeah, the archive wants everything, I guess, is like the new thing. But it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about it, But, yeah. We'll see if it's a political thing or not a political thing. Again, the documents thing, it's like, I get it, right? I get it. But, how much was in the 60,000 emails that were deleted? I'm going to go back to it. It's like you deleted the server, but what was in there? We don't know because you deleted it, right? Trump at least had paper copies, and he's already given back 15 boxes of documents that he's like, oh, he's not going to think this is that big of a deal, but whatever. Like, I think, my opinion is there's, having a leak in the active Supreme Court is probably one of those things that we probably want to get get our eyes on first, right? Right. I feel like, our highest court in the nation should be the people that we should lock down. At this point, Trump, just let him go, right? Stop giving him airtime, right? The more airtime you give him, he's loving it. He's loving it, and they say no news is bad news, right? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they're feeding into like, yeah, I deserved this. It's like, okay, great. Give him more headlines, inflame the other side of the aisle even more. I just don't get it. Just let him just fade into obscurity, Anyway, let's jump over the charts. Again, busy day. So, let's go to the VIX, drop it down to 30. You can see that the VIX, obviously yesterday we talked about it. It had a little bit of a spike, right? all of a sudden we had that spike up, and then we just kind of pushed back down again. So it really didn't change much. And again, here's the standard overnight, and we're starting to see it with nothing really today. I'm assuming we'll find a base in here and then start to rise up as people are looking for CPI tomorrow. But it's a big difference from yesterday. It is up. You're seeing all the markets down. And again, there were some warnings. NVIDIA had some things out there that were like, yep, gaming is going down. People are not spending money. And those are some worrisome signs. So again, yesterday where we had all kind of the up aspect of it, today it's kind of a little bit different, right? Today everything's a little bit more negative and in the red. And then obviously commodities are up a little bit. We're getting close to that magic number for gold, which we love. And then let's go over and cross and look at the Aussie. So the Aussie, we talked about finding something here, and there were drawings, and now there are none. That is weird. There we go. Just a little bit delayed. I was like, that is weird. That is weird. So yesterday we talked about getting a pullback down here. We didn't quite make it. It just kind of stabilized itself. It did pull back. And again, right at that 10:30 window, we talked about this being a reversal time. We were looking for just a little tiny bit more push. And this one, I think, again, it hit that 78 and we missed our entry by 1.4 pips. And again, maybe you got into it depending on your broker, how they painted it. It was a decent push to the backside. And again, the old level that we were bursting through, you can see, look at it. Came back down and based. Rode the bottom. Based in there again. Based in there again. Came back and based in there again. So again, it's definitely an area of interest and then actually bounced off of it right here. So we know that this is going to be a hot spot for news, but we don't necessarily need it right now. So I would say the same assessment is pretty much true. Again, we knew we had a 50% retracement level sitting here at 69.59. It really just kind of stabilized itself. And again, from the turn from yesterday at 10:30, again, this is why 10:30 is so important. We had that rollback again at a level. And again, if you miss an entry by 1.4 pips, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? It means your analysis was right, but you didn't add enough buffer on the one side for it. And again, when you add buffer, remember at the same time, adding buffer also increases risk. So, you got to decide where it's going to be, right? But it pulled back, and we're more or less in the same area. You can see it's down 0.15. It really hasn't moved much. Minus 19 pips in 24 hours. So not even doing a pip an hour right now. And again, for tomorrow, what I'm kind of looking for this to do is find an area where we can get some buying in. I find it very hard to believe that we'll have dollar weakness coming out of the number tomorrow. I mean, maybe. I feel like if it comes in as expected, there may be a little bit of a push down, which would rise this up. But for the most part, I mean, unless it comes in as a negative number or something like that, which I don't see, I do feel like this one is going to, give us a little bit of a push, right? And it'll go push down. So I'm kind of looking for maybe some type of a bounce, looking for some basing. But obviously at 8:30, they'll be out, the number will come out tomorrow before we talk. I think what we're really looking for is, ideally in the European session, we see if they drive it up. Again, the Europeans will know what the number is. Again, they're not supposed to, but they will. If we see the price rally up, we look for a short. If the price rallies down ahead of time, look for the possibility of a long, right? And there's a few different areas down here where there could potentially be longs. But right now, European session opened here. We're right where we opened the European session. So literally went up, 5:30 reversal, pulled back down again, and we're exactly where we started. So no real main driving forces. But 70.11, again, keep that on your radar. Confirm that 78.6. And then I think 69.59, if we can break down there a little bit, there's definitely something there with fib traders trying to pull that one in from that kind of top to bottom trade. Now, Aussie yen. Oh, look at this. I wonder if they're having problems. Because like I said, it's clicking over instantaneously. I feel like TradingView was the one that's having some lag issues today. Because like I said, I know there's lines and things on here. And I'm clicking and it's going instantaneously, so I don't think it's me. I think it's them trying to recall their history. So never experienced this with TradingView before, so that's very interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, yesterday we were sitting right here, right? Right here. Here's 10 o'clock. We're basically in the same exact spot. 0-0 movement on this one. I will say there could be a case made that we do have some basing right here, but it's choppy, right? Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction. There's buyer sitting here, buyer sitting here, buyer sitting here, and buyer sitting down here. And again, I like this kind of offshoot right here. There's a potential trade setup. I don't want to draw on it because I know that there's a drawing on this chart already. Like I said, it looks like TradingView is having some problems bringing things across. God knows what it'll do if I start drawing on it now. It'll start like double printing or something like that. But Again, right now, I would say that the Aussie yen is a little bit higher on the curve. Overall, not so much. I would say it's just starting to breach the top 30%. But if you see, it's definitely having a lot of problems. And we know that we've had some selling in there, right? But again, poke, lower high, lower high, lower high. And again, we keep driving a little bit lower. And again, some stabilization here. I would say there's not really a whole lot of news right now driving the Aussie. But if gold starts to head down, again, if they raise, if CPI is high tomorrow, that's more reason why they raise interest rates. That should send gold tumbling, which would also give us some Aussie weakness. Because again, remember the Aussie is a loose proxy to gold. So, yeah, I would say I'm more bearish this position at this point. But as far as a clean drop to the downside, again, we got a little Harry Potter, but trying to find that 1 to 3 again. Buyers here, buyers here, buyers here, buyers here. Right, I do kind of like this here. Again, I'll draw on it. I think we had this one drawn already. I do think that area is important to look at. Top side, I would say that that's been a level up top, although it's been hit. Probably there is like the midway point is what I look for. So again, if you are short, if this prints on top, it's going to get all messed up. I'd say 93.35 is looking where you want to take some profit target. Again, it's about 50 pips lower than where we are right now. All right. So Euro spiking back up. Now, yesterday, and again, I know for a fact that we have drawlings on this one. If I switch time frames, does that help it at all? Yeah. I know there's drawlings here. Like I said, these loaded, but this one is not loading right now. So obviously, TradingView having a hard time tagging their servers. But again, we know there's an area sitting right here. Man, when this finally catches up, it's going to be like, holy crap, where did Brian draw? I would say right now, again, on more of a near term. Man, there's so much junk down here. Look at the spike, 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 spike. I'd say I think bearish is the way to go with this one as well. I mean, we've been up here before. We touched it, and it drove back down again. That was a 530 reversal. Okay, so here. We had 3 o'clock open, gain the speed up. Again, the 530, 1030 is right there, right? There was your reversal back down. We've hit it again, and again, a lower high. So, if you wanted to make something, if you wanted to do kind of a more aggressive entry in there, like a failure to go higher, that's what you're looking at right there. Let's see, let's throw this up. And 1 to 3 is right there. So not even back down to the low. How many pips is that? Yeah, nice little 10 pip risk, 30 pip gainer. Not too bad, right? Not too shabby, right? Hold on. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, it's not even saving. Nope, not oil. Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah, so obviously TradingView is having problems reaching their kind of drawing server. So again, even everything I just deleted now, you can see it's like, oh, it's not saved yet. And when I refreshed it, it went back to oil. So yeah, having some problems. Yeah, anyway, what we just drew was right here. Oh my God, it like reset all of it. Oh, there we go. All right, it just popped up again. So it was a level we were talking about already, and again, it came back up. We needed that 530 confirmation as it broke out. So looks like it was off just a little bit right there, right? So, whoops. Actually, it's there. There's the box that we talked about. So we'll throw that in short. Right there. And again, profit target should be taken there. All right. All right. Nothing else with that one. Euro pound. Euro pound also is like, wah, wah, wah. It's always hard. Kind of hate when it does that. Well, I will say right now, I mean, looking at this too, you can see this dotted line here. We had a very strong push and then a slow in this level and then a push again. And we're kind of stuck there right now. And then it was front run off that position. So I'm pretty sure we had something drawn here. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. This will catch up too, and it's going to be like, oh God, what is that? Right there. So where we are right now with this one, again, we know we're in that close 50 range. If we can get any type of whether, again, that same type of failure to go higher pattern, or if you're looking to get short this one, I think this is probably the opportunity for a reversal. I think we talked about it yesterday. I mean, yeah, it's some European strength, pound weakness, but, you know, yesterday we were sitting, I guess yesterday we were sitting right here. So a little bit higher, right? A little bit higher. But now we definitely know an area where we have technical selling coming in. So I would say euro pound, probably more of a short. Again, it's not, it's a little bit, there's a little bit of range there. So maybe we wait till we get a little bit better of a top. Again, we've already hit it once and it tried again. Maybe we wait for, one of these red, green, reds. Oh, there you go. So I just drew that, but we had the same zone there. So came in fine. So I drew it in the same spot. It's like, I don't need that one. There we go. Same spot. So yeah, we talked about where that level was and where the basing was. So again, this is one we talked about yesterday. No difference, when it finally caught up and checked. And again, if you want to look for more of a near-term thing than taking the drop over here, wait for this to push down. And again, if we get a red, a green that doesn't come as high as red, and then we have a red close below, there's a trigger for a trend reversal this morning. And again, European session is basically sending straight up. We should see a reversal and turn and flip. All right. So again, the assessment hasn't changed much from yesterday. Euro yen. It's going to be slow here. I feel like I should click all of them, and I know that there's a level sitting there, right? I know that we talked about this level yesterday because it was a decent base. It's kind of what we're running into, and it's kind of the same assessment, right? Euro pound, Europeans have sent this straight up. There'll be profit taking coming in. We expect a turn, a roll, and a flip. It's 30 pips, so it's quite a bit. Really, it's a little bit much for me. The zone's still 22. I don't love it, but we drew this one, and I think it does actually come to a fib target as well. Kind of in between. So there's a level in there. But same thing. We have European strength versus the dollar. We have European strength versus the yen. Versus the pound and versus the yen. As it's pulling up now, it's starting to stall. These tend to be where there's great reversal opportunity. So again, it's 10:10. This would be the time right now. This next 10:30 candle, right, right there, is where we'd be looking for this to flip. It also happens to be at a zone, so don't be surprised if we take this turn and flip. And again, 22 is a lot, but we may, like I said, we may need this to kind of base, push down, and then pull back up to it. We may need to actually take this off of like a new level here to be able to grasp the full reversal of it. But I would say that there's probably something sitting right here. It would be more of a short position and something along these lines. God, I really don't want to take that full risk. 1 to 3 looks something like that. Again, profit target needs to be taken before that line right there. Okay, there's probably going to be a little bit of a hiccup here, right? There'll be a bit of a hiccup there. Oop, that one's too big. Yeah, that's fine. Little hiccup, second profit target. So if you want to do a TP1 here, a TP2 here, that's probably fine. Again, a couple more minutes. I think this one's ready to go. Pound yen. I'm sorry, pound dollar. So pound dollar did some pullbacks again. Strong push down, retracement. Strong push down. Actually, we can start over here. Strong push up. It took a while, right? This one's cleaner. Boom, boom, and now we're kind of messing with that same level. So honestly, interesting spot we're in right now. This was yesterday morning at 10. Actually, 10:30 is kind of where it formed up top. We hit it this morning at 5:30, which again, reversal period. It dropped, it pulled back, it didn't go as high. It's basing. This one also looks like it's probably a short opportunity here. Oh, I had it right on 3. God, I hate when I do that. That's about 15, 16 pips worth of risk to the downside. Hold on, let me pull. Let me see here. I had this one written down. Whoa. Okay, so Nadex updated again, and now I have many things on my chart again. I love when Nadex doesn't update, and all of a sudden I come back in, it's like, oh my God, why does it all look different now? No. There's so many. This is driving me nuts. All right, so there is close. I had this written down because we do have a close proximity on this one. We have a knockout at 121.88, right? 121.88. Coordinates 121.88. Style, background blue. Wait. Which one did I hit? Oh, sorry, 121.28, not 88. I was like, wait, that's not right. Right there. So we do have one that's in pretty close proximity. I do like the fact that this one is having some issues. It is going a little bit higher, but it is a 10:30 time frame. Right now, this one has about $17 worth of risk with 84 in the other direction. Again, it kind of plays into the, it's not ideal in the fact that it's on the outside, right? But it's one of those ones that, again, we're getting pretty close. There's a zone there. I wish it was just a little bit higher. Like if it was a 40, I would say jump on it. But again, you got to be able to show some discretion in this one. But with it being 10:30, I would expect the dollar strength to maybe start rolling back in again. Some a little bit more pound weakness. It is obviously in close proximity to where this one is. And this one goes from, where is it? Right here. Let's see, 28. It's 100 pips down. So it goes to there. So not a horrible one, right? It's not a horrible one. Whoops, I don't like this. I can just change it to blue up here. We'll go blue right here, and we'll put it right there, right? So that's kind of what it looks like, and it kind of coincides with what we're looking for. Pound yen. So again, pound yen will be obviously very slow. I don't know. Maybe if I like click all these, it will like kind of like try to queue them all up for us, which would be awesome. Anyway, pound. Just like how we talked about before, the pound has rallied back up again. You can see that there's a level sitting right here. And again, I got to change this off. We kind of bounced back and forth. And again, this was yesterday at 3, right? 10:30 was kind of stuck here in kind of this little bit. We talked about a Harry Potter in here. Didn't really get a super clean entry. We probably got one here, but, I don't love it. Let's see. 3 o'clock was here. So again, been straight up. Right? European session open is that candle. Right? So we've been straight up. There we go. So, all right. So it hit. So from yesterday down, and then we talked about a potential Harry Potter there. And again, it's a decent base at 12:30, but I don't know if I would have taken it. Kind of need a little bit more, but it's there. Maybe you got stopped out on it at a break even or something like that. As you can see, we're back up to the same level, the trade from yesterday. So I don't think it's horrible. I mean, it's hit that area once. We do have a confirmation with it. The European market from here has literally done nothing but send it straight up. We're at 10:30 time frame with an area of confirmed supply. So again, take it for what it's worth. There was the original trade. If you wanted to throw one more on there, there may be the opportunity. And again, we kind of already entered here in like the more recent one. But there's kind of what the second trade looks like. So again, it is definitely a reversal base trade at 10:30. You got to make it through 14 more minutes. But again, with it basing right at that line that says, hey, we're having a hard time getting through. So dollar CAD. Look at that. Dollar CAD is already here. So maybe that's what it is. Like maybe I had to like click them off first, or maybe they got the problem fixed. Yeah, I'm going to see if I could like preload these things. Hold on. I'm just trying to preload them because it seemed like it worked over here. All right. So dollar CAD. So yesterday in the dollar CAD, we were sitting right here. You can see we really haven't moved. We're kind of still basing in the same level. The profit target was bounced off of. Not enough movement. Wait, what the heck is that? Okay. I'd say right now for dollar CAD, tomorrow's going to be inventory. I think this one, with it pushing back down again, I think this one has the ability to go higher tomorrow. I kind of like it just to pull back one more time. But right now, I mean, really from where we were this time yesterday, right there, we are 11 pips, right? 11 pips. So less than half of a pip an hour worth of movement. So we're not really trending for us, not really looking for much. Top and bottom, we kind of, it's still boxed out 128.82. And again, obviously down here, 127.84 to the downside. And we're kind of sitting in the middle. And, I think, yeah, you can see we're literally just bouncing back and forth between the two levels of 50 and 61.8. Probably something small down here at the 78.6, but I'm not as concerned about that one. Okay. Yeah, that's it for that one. Dollar Swiss. Okay. So dollar Swiss yesterday, 8:30 we pushed all the way down out magically. There's your 10:30 reversal, right? This is a 40 pip runner. It's not a bad little runner there, right? Not a bad little runner. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the lower level here down at 95.10, right? 95.10 or 95.06. Sorry, I apologize. Got front run on, unfortunately. This got us. Would not have ended off of that though. Hmm. 8 o'clock. That was a decent little trade setup right there. That was a decent little trade setup. Kind of mad I missed that one. Did that go all the way? It did. Yeah, there's 3.5. Man, that's a nice one. I don't know if any of you guys grabbed that one, but look at that one. Running your fibs down, area of basing with a confirmation, came back up, right at 8 o'clock, grabbed it, shot it right past, and cranked that profit target. That was a nice little trade setup. That was a really, really nice little setup. Right? Those are the ones you look for, right? I mean, talk about things, right? Supply zone, confirmation, retracement to the 23.6, right? And again, this is the 5:30 reversal up into a roll into a new session with not really any news or anything, but look at that. Trend continuation and everything. Wow, nice setup, man. That's one of those ones you just have to appreciate, right? Got to appreciate that one. It's a thing of beauty right there. I hope to God some of you guys grabbed that one. I did not get that one, but wow, I like that. That looks good. I mean, talk about your absolute perfect opportunity right there. Obviously, downtrend setup, right? We were in a downtrend setup. If you have the class, you know what I'm talking about when I say a downtrend setup. Downtrend setup into an area of supply with a confirmation at a 23.6 pullback. Like, how many more odds can we add there, right? That's like adding four. That's like adding four, additional green squares to a roulette table, right? Gotta love that, man. Talk about nice odds. Nice, nice, nice. I should screenshot that and be like, this is what the perfect trade looks like. About 25 pips on it. So, I mean, could have been a little bit more, but gotta love it. Love it. Yeah. So as you can see yesterday, we were sitting right here yesterday. The price had already pushed down and got about halfway. Most likely this one, you got stopped out at break even or you banked a little bit on there. It made it to a 1 to 2. So again, at that point, you guys know we're kind of trailing our stop at that point. You're not just letting this one roll. Because again, you're not going to risk one. You're not going to risk two to make one. That's stupid, right? So most likely you got stopped out as price came to here and broke above this. So you captured about a 1 to 1 on that one. And again, we always like to get more, but doesn't always happen. It did reverse on us. I would say, again, we're still hovering right around the 135, the 130, like 134, 99.5, right? It's a very big psychological level. 135 is a major area. I would say overall, I still do like this one short. Let me see. Wow, there's a lot of stuff in this one. This is another one of those Nadex pairs that they kind of have it screwed up. So, there is a 135.22. Actually, you know what? It's the other one that I want to use. It is this one, right? 135. There's that one there. And then there is a what is that one? 12. What did I say? Oh, 8? No, it's a 7. There are 2 knockouts sitting right there. Now, these are the smaller knockouts. So, I mean, like the one right now, it's 13. The bottom one right now, it's $12 risk for 64 in the other direction. It's kind of like, man, we've peaked. We pushed back down. We've been fighting. Again, I wouldn't say there's any major trend in here thus far. There's kind of more sideways. But it's like, man, talk about a reversal back down again. Right? It's kind of like, so close. I wish they were bigger knockouts, right? These are a little bit small knockouts. Kind of tiny. But yeah, there's 2 sitting there that probably aren't half bad. Yeah. All right. Bitcoin, obviously taking a big fall again. Again, huge push up. We talked about this one kind of turning and rolling. And again, the same analysis, doing everything. There's your level of basing. And again, this one missed it by just a little bit, and they just continue to collapse. So all the gains that it made yesterday, it was like, woo, this is awesome. Boom, right back down again. Right. Ethereum looks just the same. Right. A little bit different position at the top. Crashed all the way back down to where we were. And again, areas of buyers right now finding support. Dogecoin, yeah. Back under 7. It like peaked its head. It's like, yeah, 7.5. Boom, right back down. Just kidding, right? Maybe Elon pumped it up and then sold more. I don't know. Yeah. So again, a little bit hard. Again, yesterday all this was green, right? And then again, TLT yesterday we saw it up here. Actually, yesterday, hold on. No, yesterday TLT is up, pushing back down again. So, yeah, again, a lot of this too. I think TLT is actually preparing for CPI more than anything else today. So, I just it's going to be a little bit harder to play. Commodities. So, oil starting to rally again. All right, we're going back up again. And I guess my theory about preloading it failed. So. Oil, interesting spot. We are at an area right now where we do have some confirmation. You can see it's starting to chop back and forth. This EV bill didn't really have too much of an effect on it. If anything, it started to drive it up. I would say right now this probably doesn't have as much to do with that bill. It should honestly, it should have more, but again, it's so long term. I mean, again, it's 2022, and they're like, oh, the goal is by 2020, 2030. So it's so far out there. Oil speculators don't necessarily care about it right now. And again, if they remove, I'll tell you right now, if it does go through and 70% of the EV vehicles don't get the tax credit anymore, people are not going to be as into buying the EV vehicles. You would say it's not a big deal, but I'll tell you right now, I know people that sell EV cars, and that's a big push for them. They are all over that tax credit. They know about it. They talk about it. People, not only does it feel good, but, it'll lower your taxes. And it's cheaper, right? There's yes and no. Yes and no. I will say, though, I saw another one of those, the Rivian trucks. They are kind of nice. Yeah, they are kind of nice. Can't lie. I don't know. I'm still waiting for James's picture with his Tesla truck, but we all know how that goes. Ugliest truck in the world, and how they can come out with the Lightning and the Rivian that looks like normal vehicles, and Tesla comes out with a moon vehicle. I don't know. I really don't understand it all. But anyway, oil's an interesting spot. Again, rallied up. If you look to see where the Europeans took it this morning, European market started right here, kind of at the bottom, and they've done nothing but shoot it straight up in the air. If you look to see what headlines could potentially be driving it, not much there. I mean, your U.S. productivity falls for the second quarter, labor costs surge. And again, we know the labor cost is a big deal. Why? Because people want to get paid more money because there's 10 million job openings and 5 million people that want to work. There you go. Recession vibe deepens. And again, these are smaller things, right? But again, going to turn all the markets kind of nasty for the morning. Crimea, several explosions. Yeah, there's a war there, so I'm not surprised. Oh, there you go. 4 hours ago. We're stopping pumping oil through the pipeline to Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. Yeah. So again, probably adds a little bit to it. Probably why we're seeing a little bit of spike, right? I wish the drawings would pop up on this one. You can see just such a decline. I'll say, let's see if there's another. This is really the last peak. Let's run some fibs here. They'll probably pop up as soon as I start drawing. Yeah, I was wondering that. So 2 levels of interest. I think we marked this off yesterday because again, the bottom was put in 4 days ago. So we already kind of understand this one. Level there, and obviously a level sitting up here. Now, this is not the freshest of levels. Actually, there's one a little bit above it I think is better. But I think you got to kind of take note that says, right now, if you take the last recent fib, right, because this is no trending, right? This is kind of a lower high, and then finally came back up again, and then this is where the reversal came in. If you take the last recent start, the origin of the last recent trend, the real trend move, this 50 and the 61.8 both have levels of basing at it. So those are levels, and again, they're a little bit higher than where we are now, right? They are, what? Sitting at 94.38 and right above that at 96.10. I think those are two levels if we can push to. Probably look for a little bit of reversal in both these things. Again, I do think it is justified to be a little bit higher. Yeah, I think it goes a little bit higher, but I don't know what the catalyst is on it. Like I said, that bill is so far out. Yeah, the bill's so far out, it shouldn't have that much of an effect on it. So I think it's got a bit more to go. And again, typically, we'll probably see some profit taking from the European markets, but you can see the U.S. really hasn't had much effect on it right now. Not necessarily a big thing. Again, I'm all for all the climate change and stuff like that, but I mean, again, the original goal was we want a reduction by 50. Now it's going to be supposedly 33 to 40, so it's not even what the goal originally was. So I don't know. I feel like this is, creating lofty goals and policy for 10 years from now. Yeah, not nice thinking, but anyway, here's a level from natural gas. Obviously natural gas did load. Did crude oil load? Yeah, crude oil popped up. Actually, we just drew that one, but again, natural gas loaded. We talked about an area down here where we had buyers. You can see yesterday morning, right around that 10:30 time frame, we hit it. We hit it again at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and now it's kind of started to push back up again. There's obviously a gap over here between the 5th and the 7th. So again, something going over the weekend. There will probably be some sellers sitting in there, right? But again, news that Russia is halting gas. We're not sending things in will always cause this to increase just a little bit. It is up 3.5 or 3.6% today. I think there will be some profit taking coming in this one. We probably see a roll back again. Here's the European session start. So we're going up, and wow, that just disappeared. Not exactly sure why it did that, but anyway, just a little bit higher of a push, and I think this one can turn and roll. So if you're really looking to get into something natural gas wise, you want to get a little bit of play in this. I think $7.95 is probably an area for sellers. Again, when we gap fill, it's got to get through here first, but when we gap fill, we tend to see a roll as well. So it's there. Gold's doing what we wanted to do. Now, we know we have a lot of drawings here. We know that 1,800 is a big one. You can see we did. We touched 1,800 earlier today at 9 o'clock. We said 1,900 or 1,800 was going to be kind of a magical number. We're kind of hoping that we held and maintained the 1,800 mark in preparation for CPI tomorrow. So we are in the proximity of what we are looking for. There we go. There's the spike. And again, you can see the 1,800. Let's see. Text. Oh, it won't even let me do it. Oh, there we go. I feel like it's pulling historical data now because I feel like, where the heck is it? Change it to purple. Change it to bold. Make it bigger so I can actually see it. Let's put it on the right. To the right. There we go. So we know we got our 1,800 sitting there. So again, tagged 1,800. We knew that was going to be sellers, right? As soon as it breaks above 1,800, everybody's like, woo! We broke 1,800 in gold, and then buys it, and then boom, it immediately goes short again. So again, we can adjust this up. We've talked about this level for a while now. I think tomorrow, for tomorrow, if we can hold and maintain, I would say watch out for this kind of area of congestion right down here. It just happens to be, and I don't know if you can see it or not, it just happens to be the 23.6 level as it pulls back down. So again, for some reason, in the next 22 hours, if we drive straight back down to 1772, it looks like somebody leaked some data, and it looks like it could be a buying opportunity for gold for tomorrow. If we maintain and hold at 1,800, I would say it's probably more of a short, and I'd be looking for a spike down because it's like, wow, CPI, it's like, bam, more inflation. That's it. We're raising interest rates, and we see a push down and then a bit of a reversal, and I think this is where the reversal level comes in. It's approximately, $25 to $30 lower. Whoops. So it is in a good spot. Like it's definitely a spot that we would like it to move, and it makes sense as far as how much of a move would cause the reversal. So again, decent area. But again, I think gold is definitely going to be a mover. I think the initial reaction off of CPI tomorrow is a short, and then it will turn and roll back up again when they're like, oh, look, it's there. Now, for some reason, if that number comes in at negative or something crazy like that, I think gold is I think gold takes off. So, again, obviously it's a news release. No, but I don't have access to it. Most people don't have access to it ahead of time. Somebody will. But I think the early morning movement tomorrow in the European session is how to watch this one. But again, we're in an area right now where we've already, we've mentioned shorts multiple times at this point. Talked about 1800 is where it was. And again, a run back to where? 1782, right? 1782 is kind of where it's at. But again, I like it more for tomorrow. Today is more pre-positioning than anything else. Silver, as you can see, silver is double, but it's in the other opposite direction. So, gold popped. Silver, what we were doing is we're like, hey, listen, we need a base. We're waiting for a base. We didn't get the base here. It ended up going up and grabbing the 2073. Actually, yesterday, we were sitting right here. We had actually just touched it yesterday, and you can see it shot back and forth. We were looking for it to come down in base. So it's rolled, right? It's rolled off the zone. We tagged the zone at, again, imagine that. We tagged the zone at 1030, right? 1030 is right there. We tagged it at 1030. And roll. But we were talking about not really necessarily taking it as a short because we didn't have enough room down. We were looking for some type of a break. And again, probably more of that is probably what we're looking for. Something along those lines. But it's kind of set up the same way. It's kind of front running gold. Gold turns and flips from this area. It matches up exactly what silver is doing. Silver turned off that higher time frame level. And again, if you were here yesterday, we were talking about 2073. Right, but we're looking for more of kind of a Harry Potter play back down to maybe the $20 mark for tomorrow for CPI. So it's already on its way. Again, let's check the VIX out. Yeah, VIX is holding. It's obviously a spike from where it was, but it is maintaining and holding, starting to roll back down again. So let's look to see what the indices are doing. They look like they're recovering a little bit. Let's see with opening print what we were able to get. So yesterday's obviously we're out. Here's the 930 one. I would say, with being in a downtrend, we knew we had a level here. I would say yes, there was a pullback level here. Let's see, the 840, let's see, 915, 930. Yeah, that was a short. Let's see. Let's see. 1 to 3 is right there. Let me see here. Yes. That price is, I need something right above. Yeah, it's funny. There was a knockout at 41.35, which again it's right where it wouldn't have existed at the open because the 930 actually it would have basically been stopped out, which you wouldn't have used. So the next one above that would have been 41.45. That's kind of far. Yeah, so there would have been no knockouts at the open. There was one that was literally ready to get broken out, and you would not have traded that one. Let's see. 9 to 11. Ooh. That was a nice one. Ooh, look at that. Let's see. 41.35. $41.35, $41.25, and boom. There was your call spread. There was your call spread at the open, right? It opened, was just a little bit out of the money, and then boom, burst all the way through the bottom side. There's your call spread at the open. There was actually one sitting at 35, which again may have been, but this is just a little bit farther out of the money. May have been a little bit better run. But there was one. There was a 41.35 as well, which is actually right where price was opening at 33, but it was a little in the money. I would have much rather taken the one. It was a little, a little bit as price spikes. You could have got either one. Either one didn't matter. They both made it all the way. So again, there's an opening print. Again, both those call spreads were good. NQ. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, NQ, you can see the same pullback, 830. This one didn't give us as much of an entry. Again, there's your level of basing right there. It did. It gave us that confirmation pullback. 915, 930, it popped in. So yeah, this is also a second one. And 1 to 3 is right there. So again, blew it out as well. Let's see. Let's see. Tech 9 to 11. What were we looking price wise? Let's see. Where the heck were we at? We opened at 13.10. Yeah, it doesn't matter. There was a 13.86. 13. What did I just say? Oh, it's 13.105 to 13.055. There's one there, and you can see that one. Again, as a pop through, put it out of the money. Right? Right? That was one. And then there was a second one. Let's change this to a purple so it is different. And this one is 1380. Right? 1380 to 1330. And there was your second one. Again, started out of the money. So you were a little bit out of the money on that one. So really doesn't matter which one you took. Again, two great little setups on there. It did make it well past its 1 to 3, so you could have captured full profit on either one of those two things. Again, just trying to highlight some of these call spreads in there. Again, nice little setups on there, but 2 for 2 as far as entries, and obviously the full profit targets were taken. YM. Now this guy was a hot mess. YM. So literally, let's see, 8:45, it started the drive back down again, symbolizing that it was probably going to go more long. Unfortunately, where it kind of pushed back down to, yes, it did go. It did go long. It was a green candle, but it wasn't in a zone. So unfortunately, this one really couldn't give us much of an entry. It did come up, and again, if you guys were looking for areas where there was turns and reversals, it did come up and grab it, and vice versa. We knew that we had some selling going on down here. Again, it had been confirmed with 2 different trades, so kind of gave us the box top and bottom, but as good as the other 2 were, this would not have been an entry. So it's 2 for 3. Hold on, I just got a message. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so you can see the top and bottom boxing in there. This is, literally this one right now is minus 0.08. It's the most flat of all of them, showing us that it has the most strength right now. And I would say, again, from the open, it did pop up where everything else popped, but then collapsed. This one is basically maintaining where it is. It's literally flat, it's 0.06 right now, so flat. So would not have been an opening print trade setup today. Again, it just was in the middle of the range between 2 sides. This side got hit and this side got hit. And again, even in this first candle, here, we'll drop it to a 5 minutes so you can see it. The sides are valid. This green right here is the opening. So it opened, it went down and touched it, it came up and touched it, it came down and touched it, and then went over. So, it literally made the full range from here up, and then from here, well, actually, we can drop it down in 1 minute. You guys can see it, right? 930 is right here. Here's your 930. So grab this zone, grab this zone, grab this zone, and now it's stabilizing exactly where we opened. So, you could have played those 2 zones, but those are your basing top and bottom from where current price was. So not an opening print setup. Was there a trade there? You absolutely could have taken those trades. Russell. So Russell, let's see. That was a full profit target yesterday and a full retrace. So let's remove that now just to get it out of the way. 8:15, 8:30. This one, unfortunately, just left without us. It did pull back, but it pulled back at really the 8:30 mark today, so not really an opening print. The opening print didn't come in until over here. The price had already pushed too far away and wasn't in the zone, so it pushed down, right? I wouldn't say it was I guess there could have been an argument for a trade, but like I said, really was not in a near-term kind of zone pulling back for it, because I wouldn't say, it was already in a downtrend and it continued to push down to that 9:30 window. So, so it looks like 2 out of 4, 2 amazing trades, right? It was 2 of 4 for entries, and then, 2 for 2 as far as, full profit targets on those. And again, Russell's always a weirder one. We look at it, but really 99% of the, or 95% of the trades probably occur on ESNQYM. Not so much today, but Just 2 out of the 3. And then Russell, not really set up. So Russell, I would say we're probably close to a 50. There may be an area here for the Russell. Let me check it. Yeah. We're chopping back and forth here. Russell is considered the weakest, but it should be considered the weakest. The small caps are always going to have the most kind of interest rate / inflation. Labor costs. Labor cost obviously is a big deal, right? Where is it? The labor surging. Labor cost affects a small business more than it does a big business. It's kind of like insurance. Insurance is a way to spread risk over lots of people. Unfortunately, we only have a few employees and labor costs are higher. Percentage-wise, it does hurt your bottom line a lot more. When you have a large company and labor costs cost more, there's a lot more employees and a lot more ways to get profit to kind of backstop you on that one. So again, it's justifiable doing what it is. Again, this is a fundamental reason for it to drop. We'll see if we get a turn in base. It is that 10:30 time frame right now. You can see it is chopping back and forth. So if it comes in now, I would expect it. Look at YM. YM is basically just like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? 0.04 right now. And again, chopping between those 2 windows. So yeah, interesting day. Twitter, 0. It was just flat. Now it's up 0.02 from where we closed. Again, kind of more on the downtrend. Again, this one is kind of, in a weird spot right now. Apple also gap lower and pulled back right up to where he closed, not doing much. Tesla, again, you see down, but it is rallying back up again as well. Just the reality is there's really no major news today, and that's the problem. But tomorrow morning will be a big one with CPI. Best way to play it, again, look to see what the Europeans do with it. They will know the data as much as we'd like to say that when the second that the data is released, that's the only time anybody's seen it, is unfortunately not true. But again, nice morning for some of those call spreads if you guys were looking at them. With that, let's go over and do the drawing for today. So yesterday, it was Sean yesterday, right? Sean yesterday. We are missing someone, right? 1, 2, 3. We're missing big old Easy E. He's not here today. Wow. He must be out with the kids. I know he was traveling. He's traveling with the kids, so maybe that's what he's doing today, which is fine, right? Ernest is a regular. We can cut him some slack sometimes. But if he loses, I mean, obviously, if you don't play the game, you can't win, right? That's what we say. So, all right, so you guys are going to get one over on Ernest today, right? Sean's like, oh, I'm going big. Ernest is not here. All right. So with that said, Sean's got a 3. Neuro's putting up a little bit of resistance. Everybody else is kind of just seeing what Sean's got. Winner of today's drawing is Neuro. Wow, man, Neuro's like, yep, got to play it. Neuro had a 22% chance, so it was it was a decent chance, right? Sean didn't have a major edge, right? I mean, Sean was going for 100, right? Sean used a little tiny bit more pip chips than Neuro did. Right? You each got your free one today. Neuro used 10, you used 20, but you were risking 20 to make 100. Those are good odds, right? Those are good odds. Neuro risked 10 to make 25, right? Technically, risk to reward wise, you had a better trade there, Sean. And again, they all don't work out. And again, Ernest is convinced that Neuro hacks. So, I mean, there's that, right? There's that, Give him his 25. All right, well set. So, again, watch out for this. CPI is going to be an absolutely monstrous one with all the inflation talk and everything else. Got to make sure you guys are keeping your head on a swivel. So, watch this. Thank you for joining today again. Sorry, that we started a little bit late. Obviously, kids, school uniforms and stuff like that. I had to get that ready to go. You guys have a great trading day today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, 9:30 a.m. And good trading. Take care.